Alrighty, guys, I think we are live. Holy shitballs, I nearly didn't turn up. Like, I actually nearly didn't turn up because I was so busy making notes for this live that I just didn't turn up. Sorry, I'm nearly late. Nearly. I'm actually on the dot. It's like literally 5 o'clock. I don't know why I'm apologizing. Stop apologizing, Bianca. Right, I'm just going to make sure everyone knows we are live. Awesome. Just double checking. Give me 1 second. Thank you so much for waiting for me. Excelente. Well done. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here, I reckon you've dieted before. If you are here, you might have failed diets before. If you are here, you might have some past food and trauma related issues. Now I'm going to forefront this training like I did with last week's training. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but I can certainly help give you some guidance and help you put some things and just clear some things up and hopefully give you a little bit more of a proper understanding of what food can do, understanding of past diet trauma and how it can influence your current behaviors. Okay. Now, I was literally in the middle of writing my notes. So half of this I'm going off my own notes and I'm sorry about the squeaky chair. It's really annoying. So half of this is going to be from my notes and half is going to be off the top of my head. So good luck. So I want to, first of all, let me know if you're tuning in live, by the way, or replay. Obviously, as always, put in the comments live or replay. But first of all, I want you to understand that healing diet trauma actually involves addressing negative and harmful experiences related to diets, food, and body image. Okay. Now, we can understand diet trauma in one way, which is the emotional, psychological, sometimes physical distress caused by past experiences with diets, restrictive eating, or even body shaming. And that can result from experiences such as extreme dieting, weight cycling, over restrictive eating patterns, or even comments that have negatively impacted body image. This to me is diet trauma. But what we're going to be covering today is what you believe and have experienced through one or multiple dieting attempts. This is the angle that we are taking today because I see a lot of people coming into the group. I try and make sure I speak to every single one of you, see if there's any way that I can help you, help get the right trainings to you, help get the right information to you, because I get so many people coming through the doors that have done Weight Watchers, they've done Slim and Well, they've done Atkins, they have done Slim Fast, whatever it is, shakes, potions, lotions, systems, programs, they have done the lot, right? Whether you're one of those people or you haven't done all of them, maybe you've done something else, I guarantee you it has left you with the wrong impressions, the bad negative experiences, and the wrong information. Okay, the wrong information is just so prevalent, but also I see all the time that it just leaves people stranded, right? Left hung out to dry, because people are then left feeling like they can't be helped, that they are useless, that they've tried everything. But also I speak to people and I notice that the information that they have is so warped. It is so wrong because these programs have installed the wrong information, or it has not been described properly or explained properly. And then people are banking on this information and just not knowing where to go and thinking that they're constantly doing the right things, right? Because it's the right information that they've been given, but it's actually wrong. It's wrong. And, again, I'm not a registered dietitian, okay? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but I see this all the time. I am a health coach. I do have clients who are constantly losing weight, going through their own motions. I have a couple of clients. I have one client who is struggling to lose weight. She is at a plateau. She knows what she needs to do now, but she did come to me with diet trauma and a misunderstanding of what food is and does, right? So I want to break that down for you today. I want you to understand what the truths behind food are, what food does, how it can help you. I want to be there today to understand all of that, because it has left you hung out to dry, like I said, and with the wrong information, which with the wrong information is just perpetuating the results that you don't actually want, right? It's keeping you stuck, it's keeping you plateauing, or you're putting weight on, wondering, why the fuck am I putting weight on? I'm doing all the right things. You're not actually doing the right things because you've been fed this misinformation. So first of all, we really need to recognize the impact, okay? You can tell that this is part of my notes, right? First of all, we need to recognize the impact. So weight loss programs contribute to disordered eating, negative body image, low self-esteem, like I said, an unhealthy relationship with food, lack of self-awareness, warped understanding of nutrition and food, leading to long-term emotional struggles, anxiety around food choices. I know that I've had one client with massive food anxieties, yo-yo dieting, and the yo-yo dieting then subsequent results. So know that the diet trauma can come up and show its ugly head in many, many ways, not just the typical old-fashioned, like, oh, I eat because I was bullied as a child. Yes, diet trauma, diet-related trauma, but not the trauma that we're talking about. The trauma that we're talking about is the shit show that I'm picking up because these weight loss companies are looking for their pocket, looking for repeat customers, not looking for genuine optimum health, right? As much as my clients renew because they're getting more and more and more and more and more from each program they run through with me, at the end of the day, the tools that I'm giving them is so that they can actually leave without coming back. You know, they are repeat clients because they are getting more and more and more from each round, each program. Each time they renew, they're getting more information, they're getting more breakthroughs and more understandings, but they're not repeat customers, clients, because they put weight on and then they dip off, and then they put weight on and then they dip off. Does that make sense? So another key point here that I've written down, and this is like literally the last of my key points already, that has gone very fast, is embracing intuitive eating. Okay, so now I talk about intuitive eating, and I don't mean intuitive eating from the sense of, I think this chocolate bar is going to be really good for me. I mean intuitive eating as in listening to your body's physical cues, okay? Using that to guide eating habits rather than relying on external cues, external rules, external diets, external societal norms, okay? So adopting intuitive eating principles can really help you reconnect with your body's natural hunger signals, natural fullness signals, promoting deeper understanding of what and when your body needs something. So I don't advertise it, but I promote, and what I work through with my clients is sustainable weight loss. So we don't focus on a calorie deficit per se. We don't count calories, we don't count macros. The only thing that we do counting related is reviewing how well we've done stuff. Okay, so we mark ourselves. Did we do this, yes or no? The only counting that we do is when we're looking at our plate, we make sure that our plate is full of variety and hitting all the right goals. Okay, that is literally not even counting. I don't ask my clients to freaking weigh anything. I don't ask them to weigh in their rice or their pasta or whatever. We look and we use intuitive eating. Does this look right? Does this feel right? Have I had enough? Am I hungry yet? And you would not believe the amount of progress that happens and is able to be repeated for the rest of their lives by just tuning in. Okay, what these diet companies do, and no, I'll be honest with you, I haven't gone through them myself, but I know from the people that I talk to, from the people that I just have conversations with, just opening conversations, down to the clients that I have, down to my family members, I know what goes on in a variety of these programs. And I know that it's all around shaming. It's all around misinformation around food. They don't tell you everything that you need to know about food. They don't tell you food groups. They don't tell you what's nutritious, what's calorie dense versus nutritionally dense, right? And again, the reason why they do this is because they want you to keep coming back. So how do we heal this? How do we heal this? What I want to do is give you some rules, guidelines, just some information about how to eat healthy, how to be healthy. Okay, so one, I've already told you, don't listen to the clock. Okay, not what I just said there. I've not already told you, but one thing, don't listen to the clock. Okay, don't listen to the words breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can use that when you refer to your first meal, your second meal, your third meal, or your fourth meal. You can use that word if you want, but don't use it because society tells you that you have to have a meal before a certain time. You can eat whenever you want to eat. You can eat whenever the damn hell you want to eat. If you want to put on weight, you'll eat when you're not hungry. If you want to put on weight, you'll continue eating when you've reached a level of satiation, when your body has had enough to utilize that. In my coaching practice, we call this listening to our hunger and listening to our fullness. Okay, this is talking about the intuitive eating again. It's not letting breakfast, lunch, and dinner, society, determine when we eat. Society, when we go out or we finish work and we go to the pub and we have a drink, right? That's calories. Again, I don't like mentioning calories because I know that a lot of you people, you guys, you've been through the wars with dieting. So I know that some words are triggering. So I don't count calories, but I'm using the definition of calories as just a measurement of energy, right? If you are consuming more energy than you are using, that is when we then store it as fat and extra weight. Okay, different types of calories do make a difference, and I'll explain those in a minute. But if you finish work and you go down to the pub, you have alcohol, right? Maybe you don't, maybe you have a soda water. If you do, good on you. If not, you might have alcohol, you might have a snack, you might have crisps because everyone else is doing it, right? Are you actually hungry? Or are you just doing it because everyone else is doing it? When you go out for a meal, are you actually hungry enough that you are not full by the time you finish a starter and a main? Are you genuinely still hungry? Have you wolfed it down? Right? These are the things that we just need to listen to and not let other diet rules, other dieting timing guidelines tell us what our body needs. Our body is unique to the next person. Your body is different to mine. Her body is different to hers. His different to hers. Hers different to his. Everybody is unique, and your body is unique every single day. So when we stick to calorie deficits, like, oh, you can only have 16, 1500, maybe 1200 calories a day, which by the way, is not just a deficit, that is in a scary deficit, as I call it. And that is heading towards illness. If you think 1200 calories is normal for a deficit, it is not. Believe me. So when we think about sitting in and consuming a certain amount of calories, a certain amount of macros, certain amount of fat, certain amount of carbohydrates, just think that every single day you're doing something slightly different. Your stress levels are different. Your activity levels are different. Your NEAT, i.e. NEAT is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So what this means is the movement that you do throughout the day, like even me moving my hands here, me breathing, me walking to the toilet. This is my non-exercise specific activity. Think of that. Think of it like that. So going to the gym is not NEAT. Maybe walking to the gym is your NEAT, but at the gym is not, because that's exercise specific. So maybe the movement that you do that's not specific to a workout is different from one day to the next. And you'll notice that if you have a watch that counts your calories or your steps, you'll notice that that your steps and that your calorie burning is slightly different each day, right? That's why counting calories is difficult, because you are so restricted. Sometimes you might be overeating still, sometimes you might be under eating, and it's so difficult to actually understand what your body needs, because your body is your own, you are the only authority over your body. You can't give the authority of what your body needs on a minutely basis to someone like Weight Watchers or Slimming World. Yes, I said it. Okay. So listen to your body's natural hunger and fullness signs. Listen to what your body is saying, not what times are saying, not what systems are saying, but listen to what your body needs. Okay. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to mention about food. Food is not measured with an adjective. Food is not measured with an adjective. Food is not a sin. It is not sinful. Food is not necessarily good. Some food is not necessarily bad. Stop measuring food with an adjective. It is fuel. It is beneficial fuel or non-beneficial fuel, right? Stop creating emotional distress around food, because that then increases the anxiety, which is increasing your stress response, which actually in turn is making you store more fat. Just think, food doesn't need to be measured with an adjective. It's not sinful, it's not good, it's not bad, okay? Food is just what it is. Can I improve the quality of this food? Food is fuel, okay? You've probably heard this before. Food is the body's version of petrol. Without food, we fail, okay? It takes 2 weeks to go without calories, so measurement of energy. I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks to die, right? Without anything consumed, we will become emaciated and we will die. Now, we can keep ourselves on the brink by consuming very minimal nutrients, just by having the calories, the energy to breathe, to move, to blink. I don't know where I was going with this, but food is fuel, okay? Food is fuel. It is not an occasion. It is not sinful. It is not good. It is not bad. It is literally petrol for the body. So as soon as you start attaching these meanings and thoughts and beliefs to food, food is not your friend. Food is not a human. Neither are you not a dog. Food shouldn't be a treat. And as soon as you start getting these thoughts and beliefs around food, that is when you know that you are creating a connection that is probably not healthy and not helpful to your weight loss or to improved health. Okay, food is a measurement of energy, basically. Food contains varying amount of nutrients. So because foods, like if you imagine a chart, right, and you've got nutrient 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you've got all your nutrients along the bottom, and each food has a different varying amount, right? You kind of want to make up, imagine if I took that chart and flipped it upside down, you want to make sure that each one of those is completely fulfilled, right? So each amount of each piece of food, maybe like rice will have this amount, this amount, this amount, this amount. They are going to stack up with each different amounts of food, with each different foods that you have every single day, whether it's broccoli, rice, chickpeas, peanuts, whatever it is. You want to get all of your blocks in and make sure that that chart is completely full each week. Otherwise, if it's not full, you'll start off the next week with a deficiency. And then it's really likely that if you already have a deficiency in that area, that you probably aren't eating something with enough, or you aren't eating enough of that nutrient. So then the next week, then you're going to get deficient. So the reason why people go into diets or a plant-based lifestyle, for example, and really struggle is because they end up taking away what they actually need. So whether it's of vitamins, whether it's micronutrients of vitamins and minerals, whether it's a macronutrient like proteins, carbs, and fats. Micro meaning we need them in small amounts, macro meaning that we need them in bigger amounts. Think about a keto diet, for example. It completely eradicates a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates have been picked out in science and all across the board as an essential nutrient that we need to survive, right? So as soon as you get a diet that cuts out and eliminates something, look back at that chart, you're going to be eliminating a lot of one of those few bars. And when you eliminate them for long enough, you become extremely fatigued, brain fogged, so tired, illness and disease start creeping in. So just be extremely mindful of making sure you're filling up all of those bars in that chart, okay? And each bit of food will contain different amounts of nutrients. So it's really important to get variety as well, okay? I've heard that a plate of pasta in one of these, please correct me if I'm wrong, in one of these dieting programs, a plate of pasta is perfectly fine. And you can have pasta all day long or something like that. But you can't have avocado. Now, let me tell you now, pasta is going to provide 0 to bare minimal nutrients, okay? So you're getting all of the energy that you need, that's fine, but you're not getting any of the nutrients. So your nutrients go down, your nutrients go down, nutrients go down, okay? And with pasta, it is just sheer carbohydrates. You need something to break it down. You need something to pair with it. It's a higher calorie food. So you're going to need more of it, i.e. more calories, to fill up the space. Okay, so that's when we start looking at, is this food really good and healthy for me? I.e. is it full of nutrients? Or is it just unnecessarily loaded with energy? Now, I don't want you to think about energy as being necessarily a good thing. Yes, it is a good thing. Okay, I don't mean to use the word good because I already slandered that word. But we just need to think of energy as a form of measurement, not necessarily the bountiful energy that you think about. Especially if calories is a word that is a trigger word for you. I don't want to use a trigger word. If calories is fine, then we can use calories. Now, there's a difference between surviving and thriving, okay? If you're tired and you've got brain fog, but you're just getting by, that's surviving. I want you to thrive. I want you to feel good. And when you thrive, the difference is you're feeling great, you're feeling energetic, you're happy, you're balanced, you feel clearer, you're clear from illness and disease. That is thriving. The sad thing is most of us are barely surviving. Our stress levels are high, we're constantly on the go, we're not eating enough, we're diving ourselves, we're going towards illness and disease. We're lacking in nutrients, severely lacking in fiber. So these things are really, really important to just think, am I surviving or am I thriving? If I'm surviving, how can I thrive? How can I eat more of the good stuff? When I say good stuff, again, good, bad, okay. When I say the healthy stuff, hey, I'm talking about whole foods, okay? You know this, whole foods. I'm talking about fruits, vegetables. Yes, fruits are okay. Vegetables, yes. Potatoes are okay. Thinking, did it grow from the ground? I don't personally believe in God, but think, did God make it? Did the earth make it? Yes. Then it's probably the perfect thing. Okay. Again, there is a difference between plant-based and animal whole foods diet. And we here focus on plant-based diet. If you're not one that focuses on plant-based diet, but you're here just for a diet, I don't care where you start, to be honest with you. Eventually, we'd like to get you onto the plant-based, the whole food plant-based. But just to start off, just to release some of that diet trauma, just understand that if the earth grew it, then, well, technically animal-based foods, the earth didn't grow, then it's good for you. It's going to be nutritious for you. It's going to get you to places where you can't get if you're eating processed man-made foods. Processed man-made foods, thinking like sugary foods, even pastas. Just limit these as much as possible and focus on those beautiful, abundant foods that we can get that grows from the ground. Diet trauma I've seen come up in many ways with different people in terms of this lack of understanding, lack of food understanding. So if you think that the knowledge that you have around food is okay or questionable, or if you've run through these programs, I ask you to comment below training, the word training. And what I'd love to do is just guide you to a different training that I've done in the past. And I talk about the magic meal plate and how you can have a really well balanced meal. And that will talk about the foods that you can focus on, okay? The foods that are really, really beneficial for your body, for you to thrive. Now, I talk about the different quantities and stuff, and I don't want to confuse you. There doesn't need to be any confusion. You don't need to necessarily follow something, but something that's just optimum. And don't forget that all of this is practically free, right? Yes, okay, you've got to go out and get the food, but all of these systems that I teach is just all internal here. You don't need to go out and buy some fucking Weight Watchers mini rolls, chocolate mini rolls, right? That's highly processed. There's no nutrients in that. I'm not asking you to go out and buy Bianca's branded food. I'm asking you to go out and buy stuff that doesn't need to be in a fucking plastic bag or a box. Okay? Food diet trauma before we go. Food isn't human. You do not have a human connection to food. Food cannot heal, suppress, or fix emotional trauma. Food isn't human, cannot heal, suppress, fix emotional trauma. If you're someone who feels like they need to eat to suppress emotions, it's not the food doing it. It's not the food that's healing. In fact, the food is creating more long-term issues and problems for you. So if food isn't the problem, food isn't the solution either. It's what you have associated with the binging or with the overeating that is the problem, and that can be changed. Okay, food isn't going to miraculously heal your problems. So just eat mindfully. Eat with your body in mind. Stop with every bite and just understand what the hell is going on in my head. Because I've got so much, I've tried dieting before. I've tried this, I've tried that. But let me tell you one thing. What you choose to eat today cannot be affected by any past diet trauma experiences. What you choose to eat today is what you choose to eat today. That's it. Just because you failed a keto diet before, or a fucking cabbage diet, or just because you failed Weight Watchers before, doesn't mean that the food that you choose to eat today or tomorrow or this week has been impacted or affected by those diets. Probably should have written some more notes because there's a lot more that I have to say on this, but just be kind to yourself. Be mindful that it really isn't your fault and it never has been your fault. These systems are created to keep you in, to keep you going. That's why my clients don't see immediate results. Some of them do, don't get me wrong, some of them do. But my program is designed to create long-term results. And that is what I strive for. I strive for people to be able to put into place, fix and heal past diet trauma, all the shit that they've learned that's wrong, right? We have to relearn all of the right things, make sure that they understand that, you know, food doesn't need to be a treat because we're not a dog. Make sure that we know that food isn't sinful, it's not a bad thing, right? And that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall off and get back on again, as long as you get back on again, right? I teach my clients to learn and just learn and understand and be compassionate to themselves, because it's a long ass journey. It's taken them this many years to get here. Do you really think it's going to take a week or 2 weeks to actually undo all of that shit? Yes, you can go on a calorie deficit. And I tell you what, if you want short-term results and you want to lose weight like that, this is the wrong place for you. And if I lose some followers, if I lose some members because I'm telling you this, I don't care. Because if you want a quick fix, you will never see that here, right? I want what's best for you. And what's best for you is no more fucking yo-yo dieting. No more falling off the wagon and feeling shame and guilt about it, but being able to stand up and work out what went wrong and what you can do better next time. So you're not constantly feeling that negative, depressive anxiousness around dieting in your body and around food. If you're ready to change this system, to interrupt this pattern that you've been recycling over and over and over again, yo-yo dieting, diet trauma, all of this, if you're ready to break this, I need you to get on a call. Comment the word call or DM me the word call. We will get on a free call. You're all welcome to a free call because you're in this group anyway. We're going to unpack some of that. I'm going to give you some clear steps to take. And if you want coaching, awesome, cool. Then you get to decide at the end of the call if coaching is good for you or not. If not, that's totally fine. And you get to walk away with 2 to 3 steps, clear steps to take to get you in the right direction. You have nothing to lose. Just comment the word call or DM me the word call and we'll get you going. Okay. Much love. Sending you all the love. You're incredible. You are amazing. Each and every one of you, because I've spoken to each and every one of you. I know you're amazing. You're fantastic. I do not connect with horrible people. I know you're here for a reason, and I know you're watching this for a reason. So regardless of whether you're watching this just live or on replay or on a replay next year, do me a favor, book that call. Let's get you some clear, actionable steps and get you moving in the right direction. Much love. Take care, y'all. Bye.